We feel pretty confident guessing the price of the Surface Pro 8, even though we're so far from its release. Microsoft keeps the price of its Surface Pro tablets pretty consistent, so it can target the same audience each year. In mind, let's look at the Surface Pro 7 for hints. The latest model starts at $749 for a Core i3 version and shoots up to $2,299 for a Core i7 config with a 1TB SSD. For us, the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, at around $1,199, Core i5, 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD. Of course, the signature type cover is extra, $159, and so is the Surface Pen, $99. We expect the Surface Pro 8 will land at around the same $749 starting price and go to or beyond $2,000 when maxed out. A lower starting price seems unlikely, unless Microsoft goes with AMD, and it'd take a serious overhaul and some futuristic features, like 5G, to get this tablet to cost much more than $2,000. Surface Pro 8 design and features. Pictures of the Surface Pro 8, and Surface Laptop 4, reportedly leaked online as the devices were being certified in South Korea. Twitter user CozyPlanes says images of devices showed them certified under the model numbers 1950, Surface Laptop, and 1960, Surface Pro, which matched the model numbers uncovered by Windows Central. The bad news? The two devices look identical to the previous versions, suggesting the Surface Pro 8 will be a minor generational update. The interesting news? Windows Central suggests Microsoft could simply name them the new Surface Pro and the new Surface Laptop. Among the newest rumors from Windows latest is that the Surface Pro 8 will have design improvements but not be a major overhaul. We hope this at least means the upcoming tablet will have thinner bezels to align with the looks of more modern competitors. Previously, a pair of Microsoft patents was getting people excited about the Surface Pro 8. Before I go on, I should advise you that patents rarely turn into tangible products, and the ones I'm about to describe are pretty far out there. Still, it's fun to see what's going on in the minds of Microsoft's inventors on the off chance these bizarre ideas move ahead. The first patent describes a Surface Pro tablet with solar panels embedded in the kickstand for extended battery life. One photo shows a Surface Pro with an attached keyboard being charged by 4 solar panels mounted to the back of its kickstand. Another method described in the patent would charge the Surface device directly. You wouldn't even need direct sunlight, as the solar panels appear to work with artificial lights. Better yet, the kickstand can be rotated so the panels aim directly at the source of light. Again, this is a pretty radical concept, so the odds of it seeing the light, are slim. More likely is a concept described in another Microsoft patent wherein speakers are mounted to the back of the type cover. Physical constraints limit the size of a tablet's speakers, but using the case is a clever way of adding more real estate to work with. As described in the patent, the case would work when open and closed, and the speaker would face outward when the kickstand is engaged. It's more than likely that the Surface Pro 8 will retain the same aging design as the Surface Pro 7 with its thick display bezels. At least, that appears to be the case based on a Reddit post alleging to show the Surface Pro 8. Surface Pro 8 specs. Microsoft has kept a 12.3-inch display on the Surface Pro, but we might see it expanded with the Surface Pro 8, especially if the bezels are reduced. It's possible Microsoft will opt for the same 13-inch 2880 by 1920 pixel panel on the Surface Pro X. The Surface Pro 8 is expected to come with the latest Intel 11th Gen, Tiger Lake, Core U-series processors and Iris-Z graphics. Rumors hint at 8 GB of RAM for the base model, an upgrade from the measly 4 GB available in the previous version. We've also seen reports of a Core i7 model with up to 32 GB of RAM. Alternatively, Microsoft might choose to delay its launch for the next-gen CPUs, although it might not make sense to. Intel's own CFO George Davis said Tiger Lake 10 nm plus will be less productive than 14 nm chips, and that the 7 nm processors in 2021, assuming they arrive this year given the massive worldwide chip shortages, are the ones to look out for. Advertisement. Regardless of whether the Surface Pro 8 will pack Tiger Lake chips or something even newer, we can expect to see Core i3, Core i5 and Core i7 variants of the CPUs. We also need to talk about AMD. There aren't any rumors about AMD coming to Surface Pro, but Microsoft took a risk last year by relying on AMD processors for its Surface Laptop 3. We think Microsoft jumped the gun, but that AMD's new 4000 series CPUs present a real opportunity for mobile devices like the Surface Pro 8. Alongside the CPU, the Surface Pro 8 will likely start with 4 GB of RAM and go up to 16 GB. Storage on the Surface Pro 7 started at 128 GB, but we'd like to see Microsoft take after Apple and ramp it up to a 256 GB SSD. We'd be surprised if 1 TB wasn't the maximum storage amount.